What's up, Blossoms? Welcome to Blossom Power. I'm a blossom, you're a blossom, everybody's a blossom, and I hope that you blossom today. How's your day going? I hope it's going good. How's your week going? I hope it was good. Time seems to blend together these days. In this time of having a lot of extra peace and a lot of extra reflection time, I just noticed some patterns, and I put this shirt on today not for any particular reason, but I was reminded of the last time that I wore it, and that was when I went to a party, and because putting this shirt back on again made me remember that I had kind of an awkward encounter at this party the last time that I wore it. I don't know if it's because I'm in my late 20s and my life is sort of changing and my perspective on the world is changing. Everything just seems to change. Your cycle changes, maybe you don't get adult acne anymore. I think it's a sign of growth, and I think it's a sign of maturity that I'm just unwilling to put up with some bullshit anymore. This party happened around February when the stuff had already happened throughout January that we felt like we needed another chance. We didn't know what was coming, and we had no way of being prepared for that. We thought it was gonna be a do-over. I was at a New Year's party in February because we thought that January was just cruel to us, so we decided to get together and try again. Look where that got us. I heard about the party through one of my soccer teammates. We play together pretty casually. When it's warm out, we play on weekends and sometimes in the middle of the week. So I heard about it through one of my teammates. It was at her house, and I arrived and realized that I didn't know everybody there, but that was no matter. I can adapt and become a social butterfly when needed. I played some board game with some people at one table, and then other people were playing a card game. Lots of games were all over the place. And then there was a time that I was just sitting back with my drink and just observing the party, because that's what I like to do sometimes. I like to be a fly on the wall, or a butterfly on the wall. And so I was just looking out over the room, and there was a woman next to me standing with another guy. My impression of the woman and the way that she talked, the way that she handled herself, was that she was very smart, very well educated, very well read, and that she seemed to be one of those researcher, maybe scientific types, that she liked to ask a lot of questions like you were taking a survey in person. And my impression was right, because the first thing that she asked me was, "What's your name? How do you know the host?" Which are standard questions, and I indulged in them, but then she said, "Oh, why do you play soccer?" And I didn't have an explanation for this, mostly because nobody really asks why somebody plays a sport. You just like the sport, so you play it. Nobody asks Michael Jordan why he plays basketball instead of football, or nobody asks Barry Sanders why he plays football instead of baseball. The question of why somebody plays a particular sport is not a bad question to ask, and I was happy to answer. What sort of started to irritate me a little bit, aside from feeling like I was being put under a microscope, is that she asked, "Why are you wearing a feminist shirt?" Maybe it was the mood that I was in that day, maybe it was because it was after 10 p.m. and I was already 3 beers in and planning on calling a ride home. Maybe it's because every time I wear this shirt I know I'm going to get this question and I never want to answer it. Maybe it's because this question coming from a woman especially irks me. Even more because we're in the 21st century and we're still asking why somebody is self-identifying and making an outward statement that they are a feminist. My first response was to give her a face like, I can respect that she might have been genuinely curious, or maybe she was formulating a dissertation in her head and she was going to write about this conversation later and have a whole thesis statement about it. I can respect that, and power to her if she really wants to do that. I just did not have the energy. The answer that I actually gave her was, because I can. And I think it really should end there. I think it's that simple, and when anybody does anything, it's because they can, and it's because they want to. And you're completely allowed to do that. Unless it's illegal, and then it's not recommended. But this just circles back to the theme that I said in the first place, was that Maybe it's because in my late 20s I just don't have energy for anything anymore. There are just some pieces of BS that I'm not going to entertain. I've mentioned before that I don't have thumb energy to text to somebody an entire rant about why I'm allowed to feel the way that I feel. Basic things that people should understand after, I don't know, 1 year of higher education or reading a particularly good book. I think this can be one of many videos that circulate around a general theme that late 20s woman is done. Fair warning, if you ever meet me in person, I am usually more chipper and friendly for new people, but get the pleasantries out of the way and just know I'm not a big fan of small talk. I'm actually not a fan at all. I don't like the small talk. If there's something that's on your mind, I want to know that. This helps me get to know people, and it helps me get to know the world around me and how people work. And then we can just stop this silly little dance of asking each other every day, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm doing okay. How are you? I'm good. Yourself? I'm done with that. The other thing that I don't really have any more tolerance for is lame jokes. A friend of mine called me today. He is himself a dad, and so he has those lame dad jokes. I'm pretty sure he had some before he was even a dad. He called me earlier today and it was raining outside, and the first thing that he said was, "Hey, how are you doing on this lovely sunny day?" And I was on the other end of the line like, "Thank you for calling Blossom, please state your purpose." Since not having to go to work every day, I've had so much more peace. I've had so much more time to read and craft and do all the things that I wanted to do. This is not a productivity contest. You do not have to be doing all the things that were on your to-do list now that you don't have to go to work every day or that your hours are abbreviated now. And given all this time to myself, for myself, of just doing whatever I want, it's so nice to have peace. It's so nice to not need to talk to people. It's so nice to have things scheduled or not scheduled and to do things on my own terms. And if I wanted to leave an encounter, instead of just walking out of a room, which takes so much effort, I can just go click or click on the mouse pad, like click. I'm done. I can turn my webcam off now. I've spoken to people who are closer than I am to 30, or maybe they're over 30. I've spoken to my mom, I've spoken to my therapist about this, and they all say this is growth, which I'm very glad to hear, because this means that I'm leaving a version of myself behind that maybe is not useful anymore, and I'm stepping into a version of myself who is going to be a lot more fun in ways that actually reach me. There isn't one size fits all type of fun for everybody. You have to know your audience. A music festival is fun for the people who live that lifestyle. A film festival is going to be fun for other people of a different lifestyle. Maybe some of those people overlap. You don't know. People are very versatile. People surprise you. The point of this, and what I mostly wanted to tell you, is that it's okay that in one phase of your life you had some boundaries that you lived by, and then as time goes on and years go by and you change yet again, your boundaries change along with you. It's completely natural, it's completely normal, and you're allowed to make changes to your own life. So don't feel bad about not putting up with somebody's BS. Don't feel bad about saying, "Hey, bro, next time you call me, can you not do it where there's a steamroller behind you?" It is not too much to ask that somebody conducts a phone call from a quiet place. And don't feel like you have to explain your wardrobe choices to anybody. That's completely up to you. Sometimes it's up to the last time that you did laundry, but it's none of their business. That's all I wanted to share with you, is that I'm tired of people's BS, and it's okay if you are too. Just decide what kind of BS you want to put up with and which ones you're done with. What kind of BS do you not like anymore? Is there some that never goes away and you wish it would? Is there some that you used to deal with and now you kind of miss the drama? As you enter your late 20s, maybe you're entering your 30s, maybe you're entering your 20s and you're in your early 20s. Hey Gen Z, I see you. What are the biggest changes that you notice happening around you with your friends? Do you identify with the same changes going on? Are some things changing for you that you don't see changing for anybody else? You may not be alone. There may be things that everybody is experiencing and nobody is talking about. You can be a voice. Go ahead and leave your voices in the comments. If you liked this content, Thank you for watching. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share with anybody who this might be relevant to, who also wears feminist shirts and doesn't like explaining why. I blossom today. I hope you blossom today, tomorrow, and every day. It's been great talking to you. See you next time.